All right, let's get into the girl Dawn Robinson from En Vogue, living in her car. I want to talk about this. En Vogue, oh man. I remember when Hold On came out. That's the first song I remember. I don't know if that was their first single, but Hold On had, to me, that was the first one. And this ain't the clip, but they were in those black dresses. And look, I was just a young lad in 7th grade when that came out, and I'm gonna tell you, the thought of them in those black dresses, I had to put a book in front of my pants, if you know what I mean. But the En Vogue was beautiful. Their voices, though, man, these girls or these women, the beautiful thing about them back then, they weren't like, and no disrespect to Destiny's Child or any other groups, that came out after them, right? But this group right here, man, they could sing their asses off, you know what I'm saying? And they were all beautiful, right? But this was 1990, I want to say their first album was, and then they had some other hits after that. I don't think En Vogue was really a long running group. I would say probably after Don't Let Go, that was on the Set It Off soundtrack. I want to say after 96, maybe 97, they kind of dwindled down and, started to go their own way. But anyway, let me go back to Dawn.
Today, Dawn Robinson is revealing she's homeless and living in her car.
You guys, for the past almost 3 years, I have been living in my car. I said it. Oh my God, it's out.
Now 58 years old, she was a founding member of the wildly popular R&B pop group who's put out a string of hits.
They're the dresses. They're the En Vogue dresses. There's the En Vogue dresses. All right, this is just for me. I'm just taking myself back to those days. So let me keep going.
If you would have said to me while I was in En Vogue, you're going to be living in your car one day, I'd be like, huh?
Video on her social media shows Dawn sitting in front of a white SUV. It's not known if this is the car she's living in.
It's not easy by any means. Every day I have to take my bed down in the back. If it rains, oh my God, I've had problems.
Dawn was living in this pleasant Hollywood Hills home, but then moved to Vegas to stay with her parents. 3 years ago, she headed back to LA, but said she couldn't afford the rent, so she started living in her car.
So let me go back to that for a minute. So the question is, initially, my question would have been, is she living in her car by choice, or is she living in her car because that's all she can do? Now, the video, this is just a short form of the video. There's a longer version where she talks about her whole journey. And, obviously, based on the video, she's living in her car because that's what she has to do. Now, in the video, in the longer form video, you guys can check that out. She talks about having an assistant, which I thought was interesting. And a lot of people have been commenting on that, like, how the hell you having an assistant? So I don't know what that is about. Maybe her assistant works for free. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. Now, I want to talk about this the way I talked about Jeffrey Owens, right? Elvin from The Cosby Show. Jeffrey Owens, a lot of people clowned him, obviously, because he was caught working for Trader Joe's some years back. Somebody put him online, put him on blast. And then recently, late last year, he did another interview talking about how it's hard in Hollywood and, life is expensive and he's still struggling to make ends meet. The same thing with the actor from Amistad. I forget his name right now. It's maybe Digimon. I forgot his name. But anyway, there's been a few actors and or singers coming out talking about how hard their life is. And, when you go back, you would never think going back to En Vogue in their heyday that you'd see any of them living in their car. But here's the thing. I'm not going to go on and on about the music industry. Most people know the music industry was always predicated on really screwing people over. And I'm not even sure that she got screwed over. She may have gotten everything. She was in a group. So she was in a 4-girl group. So if she was not writing and or producing the material, she was getting probably some type of mechanical royalty, which comes from each record sale. So she's probably getting some level of her mechanical royalty split in 4, right? And then they were doing their shows. She was getting that show money split in 4. But the point is that
it's about money.
the entertainment industry is not guaranteed. I think now we all know, because of the internet and the way information is dispersed, we all understand a little bit better. even if you don't know the ins and outs of music and or acting, you understand now. It's not like back in the day when you saw somebody on TV or you saw somebody in the music video, you thought, oh, that person is rich. They don't have to work. They'll be living off they'll be living on, riches for the rest of their life. And we all know it doesn't go like that. So what do I think about this video? What I think about the video is that I'm not sure why she went online to talk about living out of her car, because I didn't really. Here's the thing. I didn't really get a lesson from the video, the long form video that she did. Now, Jeffrey Owens, who was caught working at Trader Joe's, he didn't make the video. Somebody pulled up on him, a customer, and just started taking video of him. And he was doing what he should be doing. He was working for a living because he's trying to pay his bills. So that's made sense. Now, with Dawn talking about living out of her car, I really don't know. She talked about her struggle. She talked about, they're showing in this video here, they're showing the apartment or townhome that she was living in before in LA. LA is hella expensive. And listen, forever is a long time. Like I said, I mean, I don't know how long she was active after En Vogue, but forever is a long time. And bills are due every month. Until you die, you have something that needs to be taken care of. So you got to have really long money to live for the rest of your life. Now, what I think about a lot of entertainers, I think there's a couple of lessons. And I think that one, she should have been talking about money management, how she handled her money. That's important, right? That's one. And to keep in mind, she's not married anymore. She's not, or I don't know if she even was married, but she's not with anybody. So meaning that she's solo, meaning that you're single. So you're responsible for yourself. She moved back with her parents and then moved back out. But here's the lesson to me. The lesson is that when you're in entertainment, for one, you have to understand the business that you're in. Whatever money that you make, you have to try to manage the best you can. And here's the biggest lesson. If you run low or run out of money, don't be ashamed to get a job. Don't be afraid to. From what I understand, since this video came out, her ex offered her a job. I don't know if she's going to take it, but the reality is that, when you're a kid and you get your record deal, you like, yo, you know what? I'm on, I'm living my life. I'm making money doing music and shows, but that's when you're a kid, 20 something. By the time you get into your 30s and 40s and 50s, you can't live in fairy tale land. If your money's low, your money's low. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Life don't always go the way you plan, but you have to find a way to earn money and work. And if you need to go work, go work. But the problem is with celebrities, they get caught, it's a tough space. I've never been in that place personally, but for me, I don't know. I don't care about being prideful. I'm not going to be living in my car and struggling and not being able to eat and having some discombobulated life because I don't want to be seen having a job. To me, anybody, even Beanie Siegel, for example. Beanie Siegel, he no longer is really rapping actively like that. You know what I'm saying? He once was a star to a certain extent, and him and his wife and I think some other family, they have a food truck. You gotta work. You don't work, you don't eat. So my thing is that at the end of the day, the lesson is when you're doing these videos, talk about not only your we all struggle. So talking about your struggle is one thing, but and living in your car is another. If you're doing it, like I said, you're doing it by choice. But at the end of the day, the lesson is for younger people, manage your money right. And if you get to a place where, you had a large sum of money when you were younger, but it ran out or it didn't keep up with your lifestyle, you got to go work. Go get a job, figure out some way to earn income for yourself. Stay off the internet. Because what are you on the internet for talking about? You're struggling. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you were in a musical group doesn't mean that you're set for life. And young people need to understand that, because older people should already understand that. I understand that. Unless you made a lot of money when you were young, millions on millions of dollars, and you managed it well, then maybe you could live the rest of your life. But there are a lot of actors who made a shit ton of money and still have to work later on because life is expensive. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. No disrespect to Dawn, but I just think that at the end of the day, it seems like, again, another entertainer who is stuck in this idea that, yeah, I was famous and now look where I'm at. I'm living in my car. But that's by choice, because if you're able-bodied, you have arms, you have legs, you have a sane mind, you know, you can go and work somewhere. The question is, do you want to work somewhere, right? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Crucial Convo.